Well, hello and welcome again. I'm Colin Daniel from riffninja.com, and we are on lesson number 3, day 3. And we're getting deep into this now. I got one question for you, and it's a reminder and a question. Did you at least put in the time I asked you to put in after your last lesson? I hope you have, because it'll prepare you better right now. What? You haven't? That's it. I'm going to get a beer and leave. All right, you're back. You've obviously practiced now. I don't have to make you sit in a corner. Okay, we're going to go right to riff number 3. If you take a look at the tab, riff number 3 starts right on the beat, and it is actually a reference to riff number 1. We're still using that same. We're using the same notes. We've just rearranged them just a little bit. And one of the reasons why I like to do that is because in blues, there's a call and answer thing that always happens. You know, so riff 1, we played this. Then we went low for riff number 2. Now we're going to go back up for riff number 3. And our highest point so far is riff number 4, which morphs right out of riff number 3, and it is also similar. So let's just go over riff number 3 really carefully, just so you get it, and have a good look at it. Again, the same technique, no hammering this time. And then you let it ring out, and I vibrato it. Now this is a time to open up the discussion for vibrato a little bit, because you see me doing it all the time, and it's part of creating a voice with your guitar. Like I said, treat your guitar solo like if you were singing with your voice. If you could sing, or if you can sing, treat your guitar like the voice. So here's riff number 3. Now let's put that in with riff number 1, riff number 2. So we're going to do the first 3 bars of our solo right now. Let's do it. Okay, that's what those 3 sound like together. It's really starting to come along. I'm sure you can hear it. Now, one of the reasons why I repeat riffs is because I like to rework the idea a bit. And this is a great way to construct or build a solo. So riff number 4 is very similar, except it goes up 1 note higher in the register, because we keep upping the ante with the bar. Keep bringing it up a little more to build some excitement. And so riff number 4 starts with the first 3 notes, again, those E minor notes, E, G, and B, right? So we're going to go, but now we're going to use that little trick and roll my first finger over and catch the 12th fret first string. So it's going to be like 14th fret 4th string, 12th fret 3rd string, 12th fret 2nd, and then 12th fret 1st. And then from there, we go 15th fret, 2nd string, back to the 12th fret 1st string, and then 15th fret again. And notice how riff number 3 and riff number 4 start on the 1 beat of the bar. They don't have the rest like riff number 1 and riff number 2 do. Okay, so you have to, the good thing about riff number 3 is you'll notice that when you're vibrating that 15th fret 2nd string, you've got the extra quarter note in there if you need to reorganize yourself, reconfigure yourself to get ready for riff number 4. You have the time in there. You can cheat by just slipping out of that note a little sooner. You don't have to hang on to it forever. A little bit of space between it is okay. So riff number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, I'll mention the vibrato. I like to use the vibrato. It adds character, especially in a slower blues song like this. There's lots of ways to vibrato. You'll have to find your own way because there's no right or wrong way to do it. Some guys shake their whole hand. I can't get much out of it that way. I can get more out of it just by wiggling my fingers and my wrist a bit. You have to experiment with it. Some players have incredibly good feeling vibratos. They're developed, it's like a voice, right? Again, so you think about how a voice vibratos when a good singer is singing and he's holding on to the note, and that's kind of what you want to get out of your string, right? If you bend too far and you wiggle your string, it goes out of pitch. You just need to gently wiggle it. And don't feel bad if you don't get those vibratos that have marked down in the tab right away, but those are just indicators of where those fit in, okay? So here we go. Riff number 4. We're going to go riff number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Let's do it. All right, we've got 4 bars down for our solo. We're on to bar number 5. Take a look at riff number 5 and you see that it kind of works around the same area that riff number 2 worked in. And we're going to start on the second beat of the bar, and we're going to go from the 14th fret, 3rd string. We're going to slide up. Then we're going to use our first finger, go back down to the 14th fret, and slide to the 12th fret. Then we're going to cross over to the 4th string, 14th fret. Then go back up to the 12th fret, 3rd string, and then end on the 14th fret, 3rd string. Now, you'll notice that there's not very much difference between riff number 5 and riff number 6, and that's because I kind of wanted to leave you hanging a little bit before the next change. So by going here, ending my riff number 5 here, that's the 5 change that we're in right now, the A, right? And so that emphasizes that. But then the second time I go and end back on the E because the very next bar of our rhythm is the E minor chord. So there's a reason for me doing it. And like I said before, a great way to build a solo, especially if you're just beginning into this, is to learn some note groups like we've been doing. All these riffs are note groups, and get really familiar with them, and then just modify them a little bit, you know, change them just a little, which is what we've been doing. And so now I'm going to demo riff number 5, riff number 1, riff number 2, riff number 3, riff number 4, and riff number 5 all together, okay? Now we're going to just do riff number 6, and as you'll notice, the only difference between riff number 5 and riff number 6 is the end note. So in riff number 6 we go and end on that E rather than going in riff number 5 where we did this. And it's good to practice these two together, like, and then you kind of hear the effect it has. And you can do that in your practice time using the jam track too, because all of these riffs totally fit in to the key we're in, and there's no outside notes. You can't really make a mistake with it Timing-wise, you can make a mistake, but not the notes. Okay, let's go all the way. This is our halfway through our solo now. Let's go all the way to riff number 6. Here we go. Boys and girls, that's the way it's done. We're halfway there. Thanks for hanging in there. Now I'm going to lecture you again about your practice, because as a good teacher, I need to lecture my students on how to practice. If you want to get the best results, there's no shortcuts. You just need to put in your time. I'd suggest that before the next lesson, you spend just 10 minutes or so with your 2 scales to keep reminding you and getting better at the scales. And then I want you to spend 15 minutes on the 4 new riffs. That's riff number 3, 4, 5, and 6, just individually. And then spend the last 15 minutes putting all 6 bars together, okay? Until tomorrow, have a good one.